Welcome to the Co-Extrusion Podcast. This is episode 1, so it's going to be a little bit rough, but I'm JJ.
I'm Jerry. We've done this before, we promise.
So we've done podcasting for a while, and this is now a new one we're doing. Video podcast now, so you can subscribe on YouTube, and let's just get right into it. Jerry, what have you been up to?
Well, hold on. Let me first introduce myself a little more than Jerry. So, well, you go first. You go first.
Yeah, I'm JJ Shankles. I have a YouTube channel named JJ Shankles. You can check it out. A lot of shorts, constantly posting shorts and videos and reviews. It's on YouTube.
I'm Jerry, but I'm also on YouTube. So the channel is The Print House. I kind of do like a mixture of shorts and long videos, reviews. At this point, I've kind of just started posting whatever the heck I want, but it's fun. So it's nice to post whatever I want and feel like there's less restriction. So
yeah,
but
it's like that's the fun thing of YouTube. It's like you can do whatever you want. Like I can post a video about crocheting if I want. Like I don't, it's whatever. I own it.
Yeah,
I own this podcast. Like
in the old days, if you wanted to post content, you had to go through like content, by the way, which is like making a TV show.
Yeah.
Now, I have a phone, right? I can record and then I can just post whatever I want on my own platform that I own.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I guess to start, I have something. So I got a 4th CFS, so I can finally print 4 colors on my Creality machines. Now, the 4th one is still in the box, I'll be honest, but there are plans. I know a lot of people, they are not super interested in printing tons of colors because there's a lot of waste, but very few people print 16 different colors. So I kind of want to give it a go.
Yeah. Do you have a plan of like what you want to print with 16 colors or?
So, yes and no. Yes and no, right? I, before I got the 4th CFS, so this is with a brand deal that I'm working with a brand called Kexeld, by the way. They wanted me to use their material, and I was like, well, I mean, I already use a lot of other material from other brands, but how about this? I've been wanting to print 16 colors, so they made me write up a whole list, so I have a model. I just don't remember what it is, but it was, I went to, of course, brain fart here, but one of the, Cults. It was Cults. I went to Cults and I found a whole bunch of models. And by the way, finding 3MFs that support 16 colors is it is impossible.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. So I found a couple really cool models, but I'm gonna have to paint them. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And no, I don't remember. I don't remember what they are, which is kind of a bummer to me because.
But that'll be.
Now I gotta go. I might have to go find new models all over again, and the colors that I chose are supposed to be for the. But that was pretty difficult. Was finding a model. Like, Polymaker, they've got their 16 color do you know what I'm talking about? They've got a particular model that they print in 16 colors.
Oh, really? No.
It's like some scientist dude, but it certainly had to have been custom made.
Yeah, they're little scientists that when you're looking on Polymaker's website, every color is printed in that little dude.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it has to have been custom because, I mean, you can search. I think you can search on printables and stuff for multicolor models okay. Most people have 4.
Yeah.
4 colors. Very few, and it's actually shocking to me how few people have more than 4.
Oh yeah. Of one AMS or CFS is that's 99% of people.
I bet a lot of people I mean, if you have an A1 with an AMS light, you can't, right? Am I wrong?
You're stuck to only one of those.
You're stuck to 4 colors. And yeah, which actually that's one thing that always confused me because I'm like, why would anyone go that route if they can only get one AMS or AMS light? But it, the number of people that print in multicolor, it's like
Yeah.
so small.
Or even since they are so expensive to add on, I think it's one of those where it's like, do I really want to spend that much more to add 4 more colors when I'm not going to print in 8 or 12 or 16 colors?
Well, yeah, and I think that is probably the case because so you had okay, to take a step back, you've got 4 CFSs,
I have
right?
5 now. So
Oh,
with the
okay.
K2, I had 4, and then the K2 Pro came with 1.
Okay.
So now I do have
So
5, but the 5th one is still in its plastic wrap. I haven't.
yeah, why do you need to have you done a true 16 color model that actually purges and dumps waste and
So I sliced a Benchy in 16 layers. So it's 16 colors on one print, but it's printed one color for a few millimeters because I scaled up the Benchy, but still slicing it 16 times. Yeah.
It only does 7 color swaps or
16,
15 color swaps
yeah.
or whatever it is. Okay. So I had a short phase where I was printing a lot of 8 color prints. This was before I had the additional CFSs, and there was one model from Dan over at Flexi Factor. Actually, I absolutely love Dan's models. They are getting a little bit interesting, but they are good. And what I like about them is he does color them. He releases the 3MFs such that you can just load it into Bamboo Studio or Quality Slicer and just change the colors. It's wonderful. But I did a couple of his models in 8 colors, and they are not. They are true 8 color prints. Like it's very random. You might have one color on every single layer all the way up. And this was just 8, and there was 950 grams of waste material.
Wow.
Now, look, I understand there's two factors there, right? One, if you're paying for your material, which 99.9% of everyone is, that's $25 of PLA that you're just throwing away.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. And then that also doesn't count the material used, right? But then also obviously there's plastic waste, right? So I see both sides of it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that I want to do 16 colors. I want to see, because I plan to use all the waste. I'm not going to let it just go to the landfill. So that's kind of like irrelevant to me. I'm going to do something with all the waste. It's not just let's bury it with dirt and let it decompose after 50 years.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool to capture it all. And it's something to do it, to try it out. Someone's got to do it. And a YouTuber is kind of the only type of person who can do it because we get the filament for free type,
I mean, that is pretty, it's accurate, right? Like, if I was not receiving stuff for free, it would be completely unreasonable. I mean, I'm not sure if it scales linearly, right? With 16 colors, is it going to be 2 kilograms? I have no idea. But that's like, it's just because I'm thinking this is a shelf piece, right? This is something to put on the shelf and look at.
Yeah.
So what would I spend, or how much money would I spend on a standard display piece with like not 3D printed, just I go to the store and purchase it. It depends what it is, right? But like, I don't know, $15 to $30, $40.
I mean, if you look into like high quality, like, I don't know what you call them, display dolls, or like really high quality model miniature pieces that are like big, full color and everything, like those can get really expensive,
But yeah, that is very, that actually is pretty true. Okay, so I have I know a lot of people that get into video game collecting
Mhm.
will do like stand minis or miniatures, or whether they're like this big or this big minis, but
Yeah.
um they'll do like, or they will purchase their favorite character in some,
Mhm.
or their characters in a scene or whatever. Um, those collectibles do actually get pretty
Yeah.
expensive.
Like a Mario that's a foot tall or a Master Chief. I don't know. Thinking
Yeah.
of whatever video game you're into, printed in a pretty good size in a lot of elaborate detail, and they're flexible. I could easily see over $100 type. And so
Yeah,
you know.
that does actually make me wonder, because I am like, I'm a cheapskate just to begin with, so
Yeah.
I probably, but okay, so now waste 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 material included in the price and everything. Okay, like if you get to $100 for something fully custom, I don't know. It actually doesn't seem like too bad of a deal in terms of price.
Yeah.
Assuming it doesn't fail at
Yes.
90%.
At that point, you're trying to like glue it back together at the
Oh
end
yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
splice
you're gonna take
something.
a ruler, you're gonna measure. Okay, let's see, I got 7.2 inches up. Okay, so now I got to go to the slicer,
Yeah, slice it down to
print the
that
top half,
layer.
and glue that back together.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, so anyway, I have this thought, and I don't know how long the print is gonna take, because the eight color one, I don't remember. I think it was like 4 days
Yeah.
of constant printing. So
You need to one trick I do whenever I'm printing something really long is look at the forecast and make sure you have a solid week of something big on the Elegoo Orange Storm Giga, when it's like, this will be a 3-day print, and I don't want
Oh
at
my
day
gosh.
2.5 a thunderstorm to like blip the power. Because around here we have a bunch of trees, and so they will totally hit the lines, and we just have a
Oh
dip,
my gosh.
which is enough for a printer to just kick off. And it's like, no.
Let's see. That's another consideration. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's yeah. That's actually funny. I've always in the back of my head had that thought. Okay, I'm about to start a long print. I sure hope there's not a power outage,
Mhm.
but I have never actually gone and checked the 7-day forecast
Yeah.
to be but like I mean, if 3D printers become more common in
Mhm.
households, which I think I feel like we're headed in that direction.
For sure.
Like we might be in that direction next 5 years, where it's like a computer. Everyone has a computer. I mean,
Mhm.
who knows? But yeah, it's like, okay, this is gonna take 7 days. Let me just make sure there's not gonna, because like it is a literal waste of time and a waste of money if
Mhm.
your printer just stops.
Yeah. Because power loss recovery works pretty well on most printers. That's very true. But on a 3-day long print, I don't want to
It
trust it. I don't want to rely on it to work flawlessly after that long. And if the PEI build plate cools down just slightly, it'll pop off totally.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So interestingly enough, I very unfortunately have a lot of experience with power loss recovery on not just one brand of printers, but a lot of brands of printers. And I have some firsthand experience, and I have probably like a 50% success rate.
Mhm.
So it depends on the printer for sure,
Yeah.
because like printers that have a flying like not a flying gantry, a flying build plate, which is actually like most of them now, right? So your build plate is what moves up and down, or starts at the top and then goes down. Well, when you lose power, those motors, they just give up and the bed just falls.
Yeah.
And like it should be able to, well, you would think it
Mhm.
would be able to recover, because we have power loss recovery, we can start your print from where it failed, but it doesn't. It never works perfectly, because you can't, when the printer turns back on, you can't rehome the printer.
Mhm. It's lost.
So if you theoretically, if you could rehome the printer, meaning if your nozzle could touch the build plate again,
Mhm.
theoretically you would be able to start that print back up, but that does not work. So I guess I think on the this is actually interesting now I'm speaking it out loud, but theoretically, if your build plate homes at 0, meaning all the way at the bottom, you should be able to just move the build plate up until it reaches. But like it, I'll say this: in my experience, half the time it didn't work very well, and when it did, it left it just it drove the hot end directly into the print, and if the print didn't like fall off the build plate, it left this just horrific line all the way around where it lost. But this was when I was printing the Omni 3 board game storage. It was like 2,500 print hours. It was 40 some odd kilograms of material. It was huge. And the reason I have so much experience with this is because I'm stupid and I was printing with too many printers at once and I was tripping the breaker.
Oh, yeah. I've had him trip breakers mostly on the startup, though. But maybe that's if too many are running and then one starts up. Because like when it's heating the bed and the nozzle at the same time, it just like hits it all at once and really trips breakers.
So some of the times I was tripping the breakers because these prints are all starting and stopping at different times. So some of the times it would trip, or I would say a majority of them, it would trip when something is heating up because it's like max power. But if I've already got 3 printers going in a room and let's just say, for instance, the K1 or the K2 Plus finishes, I come back, I remove the part, I start a new print. Now the K1 Max it has a huge power supply on the inside of it. It has a gigantic power draw. So now the build plate's heating up, the chamber might be heating up, the nozzle's heating up, and it might be able to sustain if everything's already up to temp, but like getting there cuts it off. So that happened. That happened quite a few times for sure.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. It's a video podcast, so I can actually show things off of this helmet that's in the background of all my videos usually.
Oh, goodness.
These layers this was on the WeDo X40 or M40. And it's one where it even should be able to level the gantry at the top. So like it should properly just take the nozzle straight up, level itself, and then go back down to the layer and keep printing. But it just drives itself straight into the print.
Yeah.
And it was a stormy week that I think there's even there's 1, 2, 3 power outages on this one. I should have just like waited a week after the first one, been like, oh, it's going to storm again tomorrow. Let me not do this.
Yeah.
But instead I'm like, nah, keep going.
Well, listen, I can try. A man can dream.
Yeah. So I had to
re-slice
it 3 different times from like the whole guessing what layer you're on, slicing it.
Oh yeah, because that machine's so old, it doesn't have power loss recovery.
It was supposed to.
Okay.
That printer just had like terrible firmware where it's like, okay, I'm supposed to level at the top. Let me go down first before going up. It's like, what are you doing? No.
I mean, okay, so we were talking about, or I was mentioning maybe in the next few years we'll see printers in everyday homes. That is something that needs to be that needs to be nailed down. Like, there's always the possibility of something going wrong, and you like having a spaghetti plate when you come back from work or whatever. But if nothing outside of like the printer goes wrong, meaning you've like a power outage, that's not the printer's fault.
Yeah,
we need to get to a point where that is taken care of. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I feel like, so the Bamboo H2D is the one, I feel like most recent flagship that's like really good. And the camera in there does like a really good job at detecting when there's spaghetti. It's the first printer I've had where I've left the spaghetti detection on because it's not over detecting everything. A few times I'm like, that's okay. but it has detected things where I'm like, yeah, that was a failed print. So you right on the screen, you can select exactly which ones you were like, okay, I'm printing a bed of 100 multi-board parts. So directly on the printer screen, I can zoom in and click, don't continue on these 3 parts, keep printing the plate. And it does, and it works great.
So you're talking about like it on like Clipper printers, how you can do you can cancel certain objects. I can't remember what they call that. Okay. So I know Bamboo's got that, but you're saying it does it. Are you saying it does that automatically with spaghetti detection? Or?
No, the spaghetti detection will automatically pause the printer when it sees a failed print. And so then I can pull the failed ones off and from the screen tell it, don't keep printing these because they're not there anymore.
Gotcha.
And so the sort of those two working together have been the best on that printer. And I feel like that'll be just keep getting better. You know, it's still early and it still does mess up occasionally. But that I think will be the like big difference of most people to be able to save yourself as soon as a failed print is starting to fail. That's pretty big.
I think. Yeah, I think that's definitely something that needs some work. And of course, I haven't used the H2D. Mm-hmm. You said the H2D, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and so I haven't used it, but definitely on my tried and true ish X1 carpet.
Yeah,
I have had issues where, and typically it's not spaghetti issues because that printer doesn't. It very rarely has issues, but typically it's when it does, you know, it will do its first layer print and then it'll go through with the cameras and scan to see if the first layer looks like it went down correctly.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have issues on that where it thinks, I don't know if I think it calls itself spaghetti, so I don't know what it's saying, but
yeah.
I'll have issues where it improperly detects that knowledge. And so I'll click the start button and then I'll walk away. I'll come back, 45 minutes later and it's not printing. I'm walking up the stairs and I don't hear it on and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I know exactly what happened, right? So I just got to go click the continue button. But some of those detection features do need to be better. Like across the board, not just one brand, like every brand.
Yes, yeah. And that's, I think, what will make it when your success rate becomes 99%, I think that's when it can become a consumer object fully.
Yeah. Well, and to kind of like take a step back into the like power loss recovery situation, it doesn't. Now, I don't know what the proper solution is, right? Like if you have power loss what are you supposed to predict? If you have power loss for 4 days, right? Like, or there's only so much that you can like build into it. But I mean, I would say the vast majority of people have power loss for it flickers for just long enough for everything to turn off, or they have power loss for less than 3 hours. Oh, someone crashed into a telephone pole, and so at like the less than 5 hour mark, I feel like onboard batteries. I'm not saying not onboard batteries to continue printing because that would be, but like onboard batteries to maintain the motor state, so your build plate doesn't drop or your gantry doesn't fall or whatever.
Yeah, the motor state and the bed temperature.
And you see that gets, when you're starting to do temperature, that does get into it. But I mean,
well, because the new cold plates are so good. I just got some new ones in from Fadis, I think. They're purple, so I was like, oh yeah, send those over. Those are awesome.
Oh yeah,
purely on color. But I do like cold plates in general, because you can print at pretty much ambient temperature, and so with those you wouldn't lose your print. But the problem with a PEI build plate is if it drops 10 degrees on a large print, it's probably over. Like,
that's fair. And maybe it's a matter of it being add a little bit of customization into it, so where it's like you can select how long to or have a checkbox, maintain build plate temperature, and if you do that, obviously you have reduced like power outage lengths because you have to use whatever internal battery. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how much batteries cost. I don't know how much it would cost to put that
Yeah.
into the machine.
Or how much it would require to keep bed, how much power it needs, like on an enclosed core bamboo carbon, like a sort of small, those large ones, I could see that being a lot of power. But on a smaller enclosed printer, how much power does it really take to maintain temperature for an hour
That's
or
true.
30 minutes or an hour? I have no idea what that power figure would look like.
Yeah, that's true. Like as I just mentioned, a lot of the issues that I had were when you were trying to get up to temperature because you're
Mhm.
like max power output or max wattage draw or whatever. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you detect that you've lost your power, maybe maintaining doesn't use a ton. Um, Now here, what about this though? Oh, so this is getting into a level of customizability that I think if as long as it's not required, I
Mhm.
think could be good. So we have UPSs for computers and stuff. What if brands came up with some kind of an integrated like UPS option? And I'm not let's not go crazy here and do like $1,000 upgrade, but what if you could upgrade what if you could build a UPS into your machine, or it could be like I don't want to buy it today, but in a month, and you just plug it in.
Yeah.
So
To be a Bamboo Lab, a Creality, an Elegoo, their own
sure,
separate box next to it that you
sure,
route power through and some sort of communication there so that it can tell the printer, hey, power has been lost, even though I can still give you enough power. Save the motor states,
exactly.
stop
Yeah,
using too much power. Yeah.
because if I go to Amazon right now or to wherever, if I go to the store and I buy a UPS, it's just gonna keep printing. Like power
Mhm.
goes out, it's gonna keep printing.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. We want to preserve as much possible energy or as much possible power as we can to
Yeah.
extend the length. This way, we can hopefully regain power.
Mhm.
So that's the only reason why that there would have to be some kind of like you mentioned communication
Yeah.
between the UPS so it would have to be somewhat custom.
Mhm.
But like
Or someone has to develop it for Clipper and then everyone else uses open source Clipper anyways. So if one
which
person develops
actually
it, then everyone will get it.
actually kind of might be the way to go, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, right? Bamboo is going to go with their closed
Their
source
own
route,
thing. Yeah.
but I mean, even Creality's on Clipper, so
Hmm.
like I'm trying to think, is
I,
there anyone besides Bamboo that is or Prusa, right? Prusa is
their
doing their
own.
own thing as
Yeah.
well. So they wouldn't be able to plug and play, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something that we got to do something before we get into the mass market because or not the mass
Hmm.
market, the majority of houses.
Yeah. Larger consumer market. And I always say accessories sell really well in this hobby. Like this is a
Oh yeah.
hobby for engineers and tinkerers, and you've bought your
100%.
$300 or $400 printer, and then a year later you're like, well, what am I going to buy now? I I don't
Yeah.
want to. I don't want to upgrade because that's a big expensive thing. But like, what can I like add to this for $100? And if you could add $100
Oh yeah.
UPS, that makes it way better. Upgrades are huge in this hobby.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Or I mean, well, yeah, I th- I do think that works out as well because a lot of times people I mean, I mean, a lot of people aren't millionaires, right? Like most
Mhm.
people aren't millionaires. Like, oh, I can afford this now.
Yeah.
I can't afford this and this and this, and I can't like. Okay, so you get the printer now, and then in a couple months you have some more expendable money. You can buy your whatever. I mean, like you said, people do that
Mhm.
now. Like, oh, I want to get a new cold plate. Okay, so you go buy your cold plate. Oh, actually, this month instead of getting that, I want to get a
Mhm.
UPS. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds boring, but like I feel like that kind of route might be what we need to take.
Mhm. I think that's why most Bamboo Lab printers you see on Facebook Marketplace have all the Fadis and Big Tree Tech upgrades on it because someone bought the printer, and then 6 months later, you're like, man, I got some money. What do I want to? I want to spend something on
Yeah,
this hobby I have.
I
Yeah.
I got a bamboo printer from someone on Facebook Marketplace, and it had like 4 BQ upgrades. It had a tool head cut or a reduced weight tool head cover. It had a new light bar because the light bar that was in there wasn't enough, and there was other. But like,
Yeah.
I want to do something. What can I do? Ooh, purchase.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's interesting world.
Well, that's about 30 minutes on this first podcast. Do you think we should wrap it up?
I think so. I think we're looking to do shorter, more like bite-sized consumable podcasts. I think that makes the most sense because I don't always have time, like an hour to just sit and just crunch through the whole podcast. So I think that makes the most sense to just do shorter bits. So
yes. So that's the format we're going to be starting this podcast with, of 30-minute podcasts, hopefully on a weekly schedule. But we'll see. We're still figuring it out. This is episode 1. So
yeah, episode 1. If we can get a podcast out, a 30-minute podcast out once per week, that's the goal. I think we'll see. We're gonna try and compress them into like shorts as well and upload shorts. We'll see how editing works, right?
Yes, we'll see how it goes.
So
thanks for listening or watching wherever you are.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Bye.